And so the thing is, I got my way into doing press with Ryan Seacrest. I worked right up to him without any press credentials. Well, I had my book in my hand. He granted me an interview that day because he wanted to plug his radio facility at the Children's Hospital. Because he opens radio facilities across the nation at Boston Children's Hospital, but it was in Atlanta first, because he's from Atlanta. So he opened it back in the day when I lived there, and I went up to him, and he did an interview with me. And I thought he was going to be a prick because he's on this thing, he's on that thing, he makes so much money, but he was down to earth. I was wrong about it. And then you said the other question was
most memorable celebrity experience.
I want to say Ryan Seacrest again, maybe Ryan, and maybe Rick Ross too, because Rick Ross, I had the privilege to interview him twice, but one interview was messed up, and then the second one was very much better, authentic. But the first one, he was high and drunk, so he was on stage, and I was like there like for 5 hours, and then I thought it would be a better interview. I was waiting for 5 hours, but then happened to be a few months later, I was found out about this Tupac benefit thing, and Big Boy was there from Outkast, and then Rick Ross happened to show up. I just went up to Rick Ross. He wasn't drunk. I just did a quick interview, and I would say that's memorable too.
That's a really cool experience, especially someone like me hearing about what you just said. I'm a real big Rick Ross fan, so that'd be a really cool experience for me to do something like that.
Well, just tip is Dylan. Do not try to interview him when he's drunk and high. Okay, at 5 o'clock in the morning, after being there for 5 hours. I mean, that
Yeah.
won't work out. You know what I'm saying? But if it's at an event, sometimes like I don't know if you know Henry Winkler. He played the Fonz on the Happy Days. It took me 2 days to interview him. One event, I happened to be there. Then I found out he was going to be at another event, and he was short with me because he was late for his own thing. He wanted to pertain to his fans, but I was waiting there for a long time. And then I caught him at the right time the next day at a different event. He played the Fonz. He played Adam Sandler's dad and Click. If people know about Happy Days, your father would know about Happy Days. Remember Happy Days, the old series?
I've heard
He
of
played,
it, but I'm not real too familiar with it.
well, if you look at Happy Days, you put it in the Fonz. Hey, he did that. The next day, Henry, I mean, he's an older guy now. The next day, he was at a senior expo at the Gillette Stadium. When I went up to him, and he was cool as a whistle. I just asked him some questions as he was walking down. I asked him another question while I was up on stage in the crowd, and he was much more friendly than him. So sometimes celebrities can have an off moment, but sometimes if you don't get it right the first time, there's always a second time. That's what I learned about this business.
Yeah, second chances.
Definitely.
I've actually been with you on a couple of these celebrity interview pursuits. One with LMA and the other one with
Yes.
Andy Grammer.
I've had a privilege to interview him twice. One better in his dressing room, one a little bit as it was in Providence. Third time wasn't as the third time charm, I would say. There was so many fans there, it was colder, but LMA just was a shot in the dark, and it was just dark the whole night, you know what I'm saying? That didn't happen, but sometimes you get, like when I saw Joel Santana and Lynn, he was more friendly, you know what I'm saying? When I got, what's his name?
Oh, Flo
Low,
Rida.
baggy sweatpants.
Flo Rida or T
Flow
Pain.
Rider, yes, Flow Rider. As he was coming out of Kiss 108 in Gemini 4.5 Studios, I just asked him a simple question, and he was friendly. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Clarkson was the most friendly. Actually, that's the most memorable. Her and Rick Ross. Kelly Clarkson just stopped in her tracks, and she gave me one of the best interviews ever. Okay? Kelly Clarkson was just so cool. She was chewing gum. She was just a cool cat, okay? Kelly Clarkson was awesome. You know what I'm saying? I would have to say, probably retract my answer. Rick Ross is number two, Kelly Clarkson is number one for the most awesome celebrity because she was real. She made time for me, just right on the spot. She didn't care what a manager said. She gave me time. You know what I'm saying?
So I know that a lot of times when I'm with you or when you're texting me or calling me, you make a mention about, oh, the ladies though. So who would
Yes.
you say out of all the celebrities you have interviewed is the most attractive one? in your
Well,
opinion?
Trina and Kelly Clarkson. Trina, the badass chick,
Yeah.
I interviewed her in Atlanta. Like I saw her twice. And I sat down on the same couch as her, but she was beautiful because I love black women. But then Kelly Clarkson, she's from Texas, and things are bigger in Texas. You know what I'm saying? But she is beautiful, just the way her charisma is. I would say one of the most two beautiful ladies I've interviewed. And then, of course, just recently, I just interviewed Miss Rhode Island, Jonae Nichelle. If you look up Miss Rhode Island, she's so beautiful. Nice young black woman, 25 years old. She was at a Black Women's Matter, thing in Providence. I had the opportunity to interview her. So Jonae Nichelle, very nice, very beautiful.
All right. So this is gonna be the last question since you're gonna be releasing your new movie, Batshit Chicken Bone Part 3. What are your expectations for this one?
Especially because every time it goes on, I want people to laugh, enjoy it. I'm my own competitor, so I'm not competing with Jason J. Tavares. I'm not competing with these heavy hitters, Apple or whatever, or the movie theaters. Because movie theaters, I'm getting more views than the movie theaters are. Because movie theaters are not even open. But I'm my own competitor, so my expectations. People watch it. People have a good time. People have laughter. If they can enjoy some laughter, then that's the best thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's my expectations. Just get out of your world and go into Jack's world a little bit. Go into Bad to the Chicken Bone. See why he's jacked up, and you might have a laugh at two or three, and you might cry out of laughter. And then also to Peter Cardi from Cardi's Furniture, owner of Cardi's Furniture. He makes an appearance in the film as well.
All right. Thank you to Derek for doing this interview with me.
Well, thank you very much, Dylan, for having me.
So this wraps it up for the first edition of the Whatever podcast. And again, thank you to Derek for being able to do this interview with me. This is the Whatever Kid, and it's on to the next one.